Abathur is quite the popular character in Heroes of the Storm, in the sense that if you ever actually catch a glimpse of him, people tend to go into a frenzy trying to kill him. This slug is a way backline fighter, preferring to stay far away from combat and put toxic mines on the battlefield and symbiote his allies to help them attack. Such a unique character design had to have origins from somewhere, right? Let's take a look. Now, talking about the story of Abathur is an interesting one. First, let's talk about who the Zerg are. The Zerg are an alien race dedicated to the pursuit of genetic perfection. They are hyper-aggressive, and their goal is to assimilate other species, incorporate useful genetic code into their own, and continue across the galaxy. This makes them a terrifyingly formidable foe, as they can adapt and infect at an alarming rate. Abathur is a unique creature within the Zerg, and as far as we know, the only one of his kind. He was created with the sole purpose of weaving together genetic material in new and interesting ways to help the Zerg evolve and proceed forward. He was created by the Overmind, leader of the Zerg at the time, to assist in the evolution of the Zerg. He was the one who originally created the Queen of Blades out of Kerrigan. However, after the Overmind's death, he wandered the planet Shar as a mindless drone until control was once again reasserted by Kerrigan. It was from here he joined her forces in improving the Zerg and furthering its goals. See, now this is an interesting part about Abathur's history through the story of Starcraft 2. We can't talk about him in the sense of events he took part in, because he didn't actually directly take part in any of them. He reacted to them, offered his opinion, and helped improve the Zerg to, further Kerrigan's goals, but his indirect role prevented him from actually being a part of any of it. He's a sassy slug, is what I'm trying to say. Also hates pronouns. So to get an idea of who Abathur is, I'm going to run down some events that occurred and how he viewed and reacted to them. Now, Kerrigan's de-infestation was alarming to him, and he offered to improve her. However, Kerrigan was pretty upset when she found out he was the one who originally did that to her. Abathur didn't really understand why. He was also quite surprised to find out that she had the ability to spin new genetic sequences like he did. He was happy, however, when she told him to stop experimenting on Terrans, also known as humans. Abathur considered them to be useless to the Swarm anyway. When faced with the Primal Zerg, a strain of Zerg who avoided becoming part of the Swarm many years ago and formed packs on the planet Xeris, Abathur was extremely upset and did not want them to be part of the Swarm. You see, they were the original Zerg, and in his mind they were a backward step for evolution. However, it was here that Kerrigan reinfested herself to become the Primal Queen of Blades, and even he was forced to admit that she was beyond his understanding at this point. Despite all this, he never wanted to return to Xeris. Abathur's opinion of Stukov was an interesting point as well, as he still considered Terrans to be worthless to the Swarm. Though the weaving of Zerg and human material into the creature that became Stukov was fascinating, it was more interesting in the fact that Abathur was not capable of weaving genetic material in that fashion. He refused to believe that a Terran scientist had the ability to do this, and he was right. It was a Xel'Naga in disguise. Xel'Naga were powerful godlike creatures who created the Zerg to begin with. Despite the ups and downs, Abathur still considered Kerrigan the Swarm's greatest leader. He considered the Swarm's main goal to be to serve its leader, and even if everything Kerrigan did was done for her own personal gains, she was brutally effective at what she did and continued to evolve the Zerg in useful ways. That being said, when Zagara finally took over as leader, he continued to serve the Swarm in the same way he always had, though he was very opposed to peace. Conflict and assimilation was the only way for the Zerg to continue evolving in his mind. Abathur is certainly a unique character all in all. Complete support, eating pieces of creatures to gain their genetic material and incorporate them into the Zerg, and increasingly arrogant and obsessed with efficiency. He's a fun character to watch through the campaign, though he's probably not the kind of slug you want to hang out with. This slug, though, can be a very efficient addition to your team in Heroes of the Storm, especially with his ability to copy allied heroes and join in himself. He's out of the ordinary, but then again, nothing about Abathur was ordinary to begin with. Here's hoping he can bring your team to victory in the Nexus. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and take care, everybody.